We're putting in the same tile, the same bathroom, but that's going to be the only thing that's going to be the same about this tile job. They use this trowel to put down the tile. We're going to use this trowel. Compare and contrast. When you pay $3 a square foot, you get this. You get this because every little bit of money counts to the person putting the tile in. They're going to maximize their money that they put in their pocket by using less material and cutting corners. It's not a tile problem. This is a people problem. Best way to save money on a tile job is only having to do it once. You think it's the same. It's not the same. What we do and what these guys do, it's not the same. Just two different tools, a little bit more skill and a lot more caring is going to make this finished product turn out a lot better than what it was.
Oh, I know where there's another plug. It's right here. There. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work.
Mama say that happiness is from magic rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue.
And we're back. Here we are, Hamilton Tile. We're doing it again.
Getting the band back together.
We're doing another builder spotlight. Jason, who built this home?
Let's just say it begins with a P and ends with an ulti.
Yes. Customers had some problems with it over the last couple of years. Builders are pros at this. They'll just wait you out, excuse after excuse, little repair after little repair, and we're just going to take this whole thing out and we're going to build it correctly, and we're going to walk you through. Even though a builder or a tile person says the word Schluter, you could use the best products in the world. If the people putting it in don't do it correctly, don't take pride in their work, and don't think quality first, it doesn't matter if you use Schluter or Weedy or any of these miracle building products. It won't matter, okay? You ready, Jason, for another one?
We pretty much know what we're going to find, but you never know. Sometimes they're interesting. We've already found a couple humdingers. Problem number one we noticed, I don't know how good you can catch it, but this pan has a whole lot of bounce in it. It means this thing was not set into like a bed of mortar for full support. And that's what makes these fail prematurely all the time. So this pan was a failure waiting to happen. Because as you can see, there's just a little hole around the drain. It should have really been all filled up with concrete, about, I don't know, a 5-inch hole centered on this pipe. And they just had it sitting flat in the concrete, so it wasn't really making good contact. It wasn't really supported 100% all the way, so that's where all the flex. This is how these are normally done. It's not how they're supposed to be done, but it's the fast and easy way. Slap down a bunch of mortar on it, beat it down level, that's it. It's not like it's hard. As we jump, you can see the pressure starts pushing water up. So there's excess water all in there.
What would you grade this as far as the tile work is concerned? Start pointing a couple things out.
Well, for builder grade, I'd say it's pretty good because they're not paid very much to do this. A lot of lippage right here. You got a good 1/8 of an inch there. You know, they tried in the corners with the silicone, but it's half silicone, half grout. You know, you get stuff like this. Just excess thin set on there. You got some more lippage right here. But for builder grade, unfortunately, it's not half bad. You know, to the untrained eye, you come in here, oh man, the shower doesn't look bad. But you know, when you start really looking closer,
what's that soap dish? What's that soap dish doing over there?
I don't know. Nobody uses them anymore, and they're hideous.
What did you just say?
How old's this house?
2 years. Yeah, you can see drywall behind here. You know, again, not wrong. There's nothing wrong with drywall as long as it, you know, Curry does its thing.
I really like the cut around the valve there.
Some more lippage here. You know, you got the old grout bull nose, my personal favorite, right there. There's no 2-inch overlap onto the adjoining piece right here. So this came right off of here. So that means there's no 2-inch overlap. So that right there is not a waterproof connection. So we got a layer of Curry, another layer of Curry, not even here with no thin set. So not really quite sure what's going on right here.
Shoot.
Alright, here's the problem we found so far. This came from the bottom of here, where it attached to the plastic pan. And all I see here is thin set. This is supposed to be, the Curry's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch short. So this piece of Curry is supposed to be adhered to the plastic of this. This is supposed to be adhered to the plastic of the pan with Curdy Fix. We've got some sort of flashing, some sort of roofing flashing, which is for rooms, not for showers, in place. So what was happening, which appears to be what was happening, is this was just filling up with water, and it was starting to wick up behind everything, and then it found its way out somehow. Probably found its way out down over here by the weep holes, because the weep holes in these plastic pans are always notorious for leaking. I'm going to bet because this little flange right here goes up like this. So in all reality, it probably just found its way out right here. It started wicking up in here. We'll probably find out when we tear everything out, this pan was not set level, so all the water was probably just slowly running this way, and then getting out where the flange actually ends on the pan. That's just how they're all designed. It's a bad design, but that's how they are. They're all done. Oh yeah, so here we go. So it was either here where this flashing is, where it's not really stuck very well. Really not an appropriate material for this. There's a bunch of water back behind there, whatnot. You can also see all this corner bead's all rusted. First off, I don't like these pans because it's, again, you can see right here, there's really no good way to make a waterproof connection to this. Now there are better ways than what this was done, but there's really no foolproof way to do it. So that's why I don't like these. Right here they have some. Right here they have some sort of roofing flashing, which again is not. It's not meant for tile installations. So who knows if this caused any problem? But as you can see, this wasn't adhered at all. I mean, it's adhered a little bit, but comes right off. And the problem with this is, over time, when it's in contact with cement products, it starts to break down because it's not made for direct contact with cement. So, you know, nothing wrong with the product. The Curdy didn't fail. Doesn't look like in any major way. It looks like just improper termination of the waterproofing down here. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You know, water found its way out. I'm gonna say that it got wicked up because this entire bottom channel was filled up with thin set. So, as we all know, thin set on its own is not waterproof. So. And I'd be willing to bet this pan isn't installed level, so all the water was just wanting to run down this way. The funny thing is, people complain, oh, Curdy board's so expensive. Well, if they would have probably built this entire bench out of 2-inch Curdy board, good chance this may not have even happened. And I'd be willing to bet they had more in materials in wood and plywood than they would in a single piece of 2-inch Curdy board. One 2-inch piece of Curdy board, you could have built this bench. That's the fun part. You get more than $80 in materials right here. Curdy is not fun to tear out. Yeah, about a 1/4 inch. By the time you start out there. About a 1/4. This is the flange to the tub shower receptor. Your board should go in front of here. Well, they had it on top because it sticks out so far. And they just filled this all with thin set. So instead of putting the waterproofing attached to here, that's what caused, I think, all the problems with all the leaking. And another thing this does, this causes a whole lot of build-out if you try to smash it in front of here, and it just never ends well.
For builders out there, there's nothing worse for a tile guy than all this corner bead. Check out all the corner bead up there.
Please stop with the corner bead.
What do you need corner bead in a shower for, Jason?
You don't. Here's another problem with the builder model. They cut prices so tight. Basically, you cannot do a proper job to make money. So what happens? Corners get cut. You want to know what one of the corners are? Using a 1/4 by 1/4 inch trowel because it's less thin set. Thin set is the cheapest part of the job for doing tile. It's not even, you don't even figure that out. Thin set's the cheapest part. So couple that with, let's see if we can get a piece without getting ourselves hurt. Couple that with no back buttering. As you can see, really no stickage. Looks like we got a little bit of spot bonding going on too. Cookie Monster was here. This should not be this easy. I'm not really hitting this thing very hard. These bridges are supposed to be collapsed. You see they got collapsed a little bit right here. but nothing right there. So that means they're just spreading it, probably spreading way too much at once, gets skinned over, loses some of its adhesive properties, and when you push it in, especially if you don't back butter, it'll feel like it's stuck, but it really has no adhesive. Also, the main purpose for it, it's really important in a shower study because all these little channels are places for water to hide out. Well, once water starts hiding out, it's bringing in probably some of your body spores, dead skin cells and all that, and that's food for mold. So if you get enough water and food in there, mold will start to grow.
How much coverage do you think they were getting here?
Not even 50%.
And how much is supposed to be in the shower?
Requirement's 95%.
Okay, so here's the final diagnostics as to why this happened. The pan, as you can tell from the video, was set flat on the floor. It was not level. So it had a 1/4 inch pitch toward the bench. So any water that collected on that curb that the glass panel sat on was all running toward the corner of that bench there to where it was not waterproofed correctly and was escaping. As well, the corner bead was completely rusted in that corner where the bench is, and that's just indicative of a lot of water running down that curb and wicking up the wall. And essentially the only way to fix this leak was to level the pan and take the shower apart in a significant way, and that's why the builder never did it. They elected to do small repairs that didn't really fix anything and to wait out the homeowner until the warranty ran out.
So we were originally planning on just doing the shower here because it was leaking, but surprise, surprise, what we found when we were cleaning the tile floor was a large crack forming and existing along the tile bathroom floor. Why did this happen? Underneath the shower pan there's an expansion joint on the concrete, and the crack in the outside tile follows where that expansion joint would be on the concrete. So in a situation like this, when you have expansion joints on cement, you should be putting a uncoupling membrane down on top of that cement to make sure that when that expansion joint moves in the concrete, it doesn't transfer up through the tile, and that wasn't done. You have to honor the expansion joints, whether that's putting an uncoupling membrane down or following the expansion joint up through the tile on a grout line and filling that with silicone. You need to allow for movement. You have to respect the expansion joints.
She only stubbed her toe on this one section of tile, and oh yeah, we got this tile right here. It's probably up almost a good 1/4 inch. So there's probably just a bump in the concrete that needed to be ground down like right here. And they just never did it. Who knows what we're gonna find, but yeah, it's a, let's see here. I don't really have anything, I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, it's every bit of 1/8 of an inch, probably closer to a 1/4. It's a doozy. I mean, look at that. They use the leave-in grout spacers, which are fine if you push them down far enough. But they didn't. They got quite a few of them that are actually poking up proud, and it's taller than a tile, but they just grouted over it anyways. Oh, and then we got this one lack of a grout joint right here. The more we look at, the more stuff we find. So you got a 3/16, almost a 1/4 inch gap, and then you've got next to nothing. Stellar.
The vast majority of tile work is this. And the vast majority of people don't even know the difference. They just think this is how tile is. And lips like this, spacers sticking out, grout joints like they are, it's leaky shower pans, leaky showers. That's not normal. This is all about installation. This is all a lack of care when installing, a lack of knowledge, yeah, and people not taking their time when they're doing the job. You're not buying a tile floor or a tile shower. You're buying the people putting in the tile floor or the tile shower. Tile's supposed to last forever. That's what we go for. That's why people pay more for us than they do for these clowns that do stuff like this.
directly over top of these.
Just think, every house in the neighborhood is all done exactly like this.
He was telling me that all the neighbors are complaining about cracked tiles in their floors. The smart builder would have taken this and did the math and put it underneath the wall or something. Because you could have put this over here, just shifted everything over. You could have put it over there underneath that wall, and this would never even be in the tile floor, and you'd have no problems whatsoever. So it takes just a little bit of planning.
When you do these tile floors, you're not supposed to see any ridge lines. Look at all these ridge lines here. That's a bad installation. I had these conversations with people where they try to compare what they do to what we do. Yeah, I usually do my own tile work, or I'll talk to somebody and they're like, I know how to do tile work, or I can do my own tile. Listen, this is the kind of work that you guys do. It's not what we're doing. That's why I'm almost insulted when people try to compare what they do to what I do. Yeah, I can cook a steak, but it's not like the steak I'm gonna get down at the restaurant, right? It's the same idea. So don't say that to professional tile installers that, oh, I usually do, I can do it too. No, you can't. Here we can see the lack of directional troweling. So we directional trowel so the ridges will break down and they'll collapse underneath the tile. It's about 50% coverage, but here this is non-directional troweling, so the guy's just going hand. A lot of the problems too that we see here is people are using completely the wrong size trowel to do this kind of work. I mean, if you have a perfectly flat floor, yeah, you can use a 1/4 by 1/4 inch trowel for this tile. But this is a large format tile, meaning any tile with a side larger than 15 inches is a large format tile. And you should by all rights be using a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch trowel for this application, not a 1/4 by 1/4. And I see it all over YouTube with these handymen. They're going to DIY teach you how to do tile, and they're using a 1/4 by 1/4 inch trowel to put these big tile down. You're not getting any coverage under these tile. Mostly because the floors and the substrates aren't flat. That takes skill to do that, but a lot of it because of the size of the trowel you're using. 1/4 by 1/4 trowel isn't going to cut it. I mean, heck, look at this over here, Jason. Let's see.
So right here, this is probably 1/4 by 1/4, maybe 1/4 by 3/8 at most. But I'm going to say there's a good chance it's 1/4 by 1/4. And then we got right here, for some reason we decided to switch to a V-notch trowel, which that's for mosaics, for very small tiles. Wrong trowel used, wrong technique. Thinset was probably mixed a little too dry. Nobody knows how to read the bag of instructions on how to mix thinset.
The best part is when we get calls that say, hey, can you come and fix this? You know what we're doing right now? Tell them what we're doing right now, Jason.
Oh, we're fixing it all right.
Yeah, we're fixing it by taking it all out. That's how you fix tile. Oh, can you fix this lip over here? No, you can't just fix one lip. It all has to come out. It all has to come out. And I've gotten this before to where when I tell people about our techniques and what we do to make a floor last or make it look good or how we do our showers, they'll say, I don't need all that. No, you do need all that. What's the point of getting tile if you don't get its lifetime lasting qualities? What's the point? Yeah, you might be getting a deal on your tile work that'll last 5 years, but what's the use? What's the point if you don't get its lifetime lasting qualities? That's the whole point of getting tile. It's not about the looks. It's about having it last a really long time. That's where you get your savings. Best way to save money on a tile job is only having to do it once.
Well, believe it or not.
All right, here we are. We have our pan prepped out. So we filled in our hole here, got our foam around there. We have our caulking around the perimeter, our expansion joint made out of sill seal around here. Just like the last time, and the last time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that. Alright, start of week 2 here, and we've had some really good progress. We have this thing, all the board up and ready to start putting together a shower. Today we're going to put in the pan, we're going to put down some flex bone on the floor, and we're going to keep it moving, okay? Let's see what we have going on. We have the inside of our pans. We have the inside of our pan self-leveled and ready to go. So now we're going to put our foam pan on top of this. Rome wasn't built overnight. You know why? Because of the tile.
Going on. I guess that's okay.
That's the coverage, guys. Hold it up.
It's going back.
Let the people see.
Let the
see. People see.
It's going back. Now we made a mess.
In this area, we had a good toe stubber here in the area. The last one. Let's see.
And as you can see now, very minimal. Very minimal. If any.
Ooh. I set that one, so that's why it's like that.
One of the craziest parts of this business and being an owner-operator is the phone calls, calling people back, the leads, new business. It's really a challenge to respond back to everybody. And this is one of the biggest complaints in this business that people have is, oh, I can't ever get anybody to call back, or people don't respond. And when you're working with your hands all day, it's very difficult. And so people need to understand a lot of the times that when people don't call you back, it's probably not because they don't want to, but they're busy. I mean, frankly, most of us in the tile business are one-person operations. So when you actually have to build stuff, it makes it a lot harder to do the business side of it and to call people back. Secondarily, we get 300 leads a year, and we don't do 80% of those, maybe 90% of those. That's all wasted time calling people back. And while we get paid for that because, we charge a premium, most of these tile installers aren't getting paid for that part. So while the homeowner's kind of frustrated with contractors, a lot of that is just pay. That's all it is. These guys, these single independent tile crews aren't getting the money that they need in order to break the time off, especially to make calls and follow up with people that they're not getting paid for, right? So all of this time that we go look at jobs, all the time that we spend calling people back, etc., you don't get paid for most of those. And a lot of these guys aren't good on the phone like I am, frankly. I qualify everybody. And I know many people, when I talk to them on the phone, they feel like I'm not interested in the job. No, that's not it. I want to make sure you're serious. I want to make sure this isn't going to be a complete and utter waste of my time. And not only my time, but your time. So I try to do a lot of stuff over the phone, over email, etc. And if you value your time, you'll value how I try to do business, right? Because you don't have the time to waste going around and accepting people into your home and talking to people about your bathroom. You don't have the time to waste either. Think about it. And it's a very timely process to get bids out to people. You know, it's on average about 5 hours. So this is separating out time, an hour there, sometimes half hour there and back, an hour doing the consultation. You know, we dress up, we bring marketing material, an hour to make the bid, and then the emails and the phone calls back. If we don't book a job, and this goes for most contractors too, if you don't book a job, you don't get paid for that. And you know, with the market the way it is, it's very difficult to charge for a consultation. I mean, we do at times. If the lead isn't serious and they really just need to have us come out, you know, I'll throw out a little charge. If people don't want to answer my questions over the phone, then, you know, I'll charge somebody for a consultation, because that is basically what we're doing. We're giving out a ton of proprietary information. We're talking to you about your project, and you know, this information isn't free. We earned it, you know, and we need to get paid to replace our knees and to replace our hips. And that's kind of how we think about this business, right? I'd love to give everybody a deal, but it's not possible because this is expensive. I call everybody back, like I said, because we're paid very well to do that. And homeowners need to make that correlation between the high paid guys usually do very good business wise, and the low paid ones aren't going to. They're not going to call you back. The ones that are busy, I really don't care about being busy, honestly. I care about making money and having a profitable business so that I can better serve the customers that do want to pay us for our very, very good service and very quality finished product, right?
Inside the shower.
We've already done 3 of them. Okay. Alright, so what we decided to do on this one, since we got wood plank tiles, we decided to just take our scraps, just wrap the corner, because we're just doing a random pattern, so that way it gives the appearance, because the grain would change if we took this one and put it next to this one, so it looked kind of funny. So we're just taking our scraps and starting our next row, and that's that. So that way the grain follows. It's the same tile, just bending the corner, so that way it looks the best.
Clean up your edges. Come on, clean up your edges.
That's it, man. He's just like, he was stuff that just did not matter. Fine as it may be.
Okay, today is the end of week 3 and we're grouting. Monday we'll silicone, and Tuesday we'll do a bunch of the other little things. So quality is tough to attain with a fatigued, tired, overworked tile installer. That's not us. That's not us. We don't work these crazy hours, but at the same time our stuff turns out great and our customers are really happy. So we're gonna go in there, we're gonna grout it up, get all that done today, and then we're gonna silicone, and we're right on schedule to get this done for these folks before Thanksgiving, as we said we would. Our stuff pretty much goes like clockwork. We know how long they're gonna take, and this is what it really takes to do these things right and correctly, and have comfortable, happy tile guys that aren't, you know, working 15-hour days. When people work like that, you know, the quality goes down. I've always said, you know, there's nothing worse than a fatigued tile guy.